What's going on? Welcome to another episode of Ford Social Conversations, where we talk about a lot of things, but not everything, because everything don't need to be talked about.
Oh man, this dude.
What's going on?
What up? What up?
What's that?
up?
Glad to be back. Glad
Yes,
to be
sir.
back for another episode of the Ford Social Conversations.
This is my first time.
Yeah, this is your welcome, Renee, to the Ford
No,
Social Conversations.
So-
I know.
Your first
I've
time.
been busy.
Welcome back. I know you've been busy.
Yeah, you stay,
Yeah,
you stay
you've been
busy.
in them streets.
Every set. Her name is Every Set for the Streets.
For the street.
Set.
Every
Okay,
set
all
for the
right,
streets.
all right, all right.
What's going on? Hey, look, today we got a couple topics we're going to talk about. But we're going to start first here with the anniversary of the death of Malcolm X.
Yeah.
Just talk a little bit about him. 1964 to 1960. No, that can't be right. Hold on. No, I'm reading that wrong. Where my notes at? Hold on. Let me get my notes.
You got the
He
history
was
buff
born.
right
He
here.
was born
60.
in 1965.
No, he was
No,
born
the
in
death-
1925.
The death was 1965.
No,
I'm
he was
tripping.
born in
Yeah,
25.
Yeah. I'm
He
reading.
died at
Look,
65.
There you go.
39
Get it
years
right.
old.
39 years old.
Yeah,
Wow.
right
Yeah.
before he made his birthday in May.
You know this is his idol right here.
Yeah. He knows everything.
No, I do not.
I should have had him reading
You
these
know
notes.
a lot of things.
But let's talk about it, man. It's the 21st was his
21st was the assassination.
assassination, which was big. And then last couple years ago, they came out with a little bit of news about how it happened, who did it. But
Right.
what's some good things I guess y'all can say? I guess we'll start with his shall I say mentee?
Oh,
Yeah. KV, you got an update with that, right?
Well, I mean, I get accused of being radical about a lot of things the way I talk about them, but I always implore people to like go listen to Malcolm, go listen to Ali. I sound just like them, and even in their day and time, they wasn't very popular.
Yeah.
So I understand that the things that I may say or the positions I may take may not be popular, but I'm in that less than 1% of 1% because a lot of people in that day and age, a lot of them had a lot to say. But it seemed like we had more Black thought leaders back then, and we had a lot of people on the front lines.
Yeah.
And it seemed like it was the entire community, and it really wasn't.
We had more cooperation.
Yeah, it seemed like that, but even when Martin died in '68, his approval rate and his popularity amongst Black folks was less, like in the 20s, And so a lot of people would, and then there was this divide amongst the Black community. Are you Malcolm or you
Yeah.
or you're Martin? And Yasa talked about that. Like, no, you don't have to choose a side. Not if we're really together.
Right.
Because they were both wanting Black liberation. They just thought about it. They thought to go about it in a different way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty
And
different.
had I been around
But
at
they were
that time, I
friends.
would have been more of a Malcolm. I'm not turning the other cheek.
Yeah.
I don't believe in that nonviolence. And so I kind of know where I would have, I know where I would have been. And so, yeah, 21st is his anniversary. Well, the death anniversary
Right.
of his life being taken right there in the Audubon ballroom. Like I said in the previous episode, listening to his daughter Yasa talk about, firsthand accounts, she was there, and watching her mother protect over them, only to learn later in life how much her mother protected them from a lot of things.
Oh, yeah.
And mother's protection is a beautiful thing. So, that marked it. The 21st marks the anniversary of his death, and so, and going forward, consequently, the 21st is what we would talk about Black history as Nina Simone's birthday.
Yeah.
Oh, I know it's her birthday.
Yeah, Nina Simone.
Man.
It was
Yeah.
it was her birthday, so I know y'all are probably a little too young to know any Nina Simone's.
Yeah.
Nina Simone, in one interview, she made no qualms about it. She was like, I love Brother Malcolm. I believe in everything he say, and I support everything that he does. And she made that. I remember watching that interview with her a couple of years back.
Who was
and
it with?
I don't remember who it was with because it was her by herself, and
okay.
she was just talking,
Yeah.
and I don't know when it was, but I do remember her saying, "Make no mistake about it, I'm with Malcolm. I believe everything he say, and I believe everything that he does." But if you listen to Nina Simone and her music, she was that's how she was.
So she doesn't want to go, go low when they go high.
No, if
Or
you're
go higher when
no,
they
no,
go
no,
low?
no, no, no. If you follow Malcolm's philosophy, you're not violent,
Yeah.
but we want the smoke if
We
you
still
ready to
take you
get.
to hell.
Yeah. Well, if we warn you and then you don't listen,
Yeah.
then you got to deal with the consequences of my actions.
Yeah.
So, but we all know, man, the nation or the FOI, man, them brothers they're not playing
They don't
around.
play around. Yeah.
They're not playing around. And I know the segue into the death of Jesse Jackson.
Yes.
One of the first things that with Jesse Jackson, when he was running for president, the United States Secret Service would not provide him service. They would not provide him any protection.
Yeah,
in the
I
beginning.
remember that.
Yeah.
So that was him passing away was very significant to me because my mother was a huge advocate. She was always a part of the Rainbow Coalition.
Okay.
Like she would pick me up from school. She would take me to, they would have a little, maybe a building, and she would be on his dialing campaign. I would walk with her where she's going to houses and she's talking about Jesse Jackson. Every year that he ran, she was always on his campaign, like in the forefront.
That's what's up.
And here I am as a young child going to school when they're like, well, what did you do over the weekend? I went door to door with my mother to talk to people about Mr. Jesse Jackson. That was one of the great things about having a Black mother who supported Black causes up until, all the way up until she passed away. So
that's dope. That's important.
That, and then I never really... I can't recall seeing him as a child, but as a grown adult, I want to say maybe in 2017, 2018, we were actually on the same plane. And it was so funny coming back from DC. I was a layover in DC and I saw him. But to me, what I saw on TV growing up, I always saw him as the same person, right? The same younger man, the same...
Right.
and also on TV.
You remember where he was.
What I saw on TV was, I don't know, maybe the filters or everything. But when I saw him in person, I was just like, at first I was like, oh my gosh, that's Jesse Jackson. And then what's so crazy is it was another Black man. And I was just like, oh, I don't recall him being that old. Like he looks old. And I'm just like going in, but like it's still Jesse Jackson. Come to find out when I meet him, it was like his assistant that I was talking to him about.
Really? Yeah.
My assistant?
Jesse Jackson's assistant that I was talking about Jesse Jackson to his assistant, and I didn't know until
a random
man, and he handed me his business card and told me he was either his assistant or his attorney that he traveled with.
That's worse if it's his attorney.
Yeah, it was... I felt a little embarrassed,
You don't remember who it was?
I can't remember. I'll probably have to go to one of my work book bags. So I'm pretty sure I still have his business card. But what's so crazy is getting on the plane, they let him in first, right?
Yeah.
This man shook every Black person's hand, and when a white person walked past, he was like this.
Hit him with that, with the shimmy.
And then he would sit in the front row, and I was just like, I was like, oh, he petty.
What's up, big dog?
But he was standing in front like he was driving, like he was flying the plane, like a pilot. He's welcoming people in, but he would be like, you?
Who, Jesse?
Jesse Jackson.
Wow.
Hey.
That Key and Peele skit, man.
Yeah, and then finally he would sit down. But it was amazing to see someone that my mom idolized growing up that I can't recall to, seeing as a person, to see him in person, to tell him how much my mother loved him and how much I worked on his campaign as a child. Because I feel like I, labored a little bit.
You contributed.
I did.
You contributed.
I did.
I'm proud of you.
So, rest in peace.
Yeah, shout out. Rest in peace, both of them. Jesse Jackson and Malcolm.
Yeah. Jesse changed the game, man. Jesse changed the game on how to... I think I talked about this in last week about delegates and the way the Democratic primary is done.
Oh,
He
yeah.
changed the game on it. But how he changed the game, I was thinking that the person he might have met was his campaign manager, which was Ron Walters. Ron Walters he don't get enough credit.
I would have to
Him
see
and
a
Ron
picture.
Brown and Ron Walters,
It could
they
have
were
been him. Is he a lot younger?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
We'll
Ron
parking lot that
Walters-
until after, and I'll see a picture. But yeah, it was definitely an
Ron
embarrassing
Walters
moment.
was that guy.
I bet it was eye opening.
It
Ron Walters was that guy.
It was an embarrassing, funny, haha moment.
Oops, gotcha. Yeah,
Yeah.
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 Now, what I was reading when I was getting wrong, it was saying by 1964-65, Malcolm X had undergone a major transformation.
He did.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He did. He changed his outlook on, because he was part of the Nation of Islam. And it wasn't until they had the little ordeal where he questioned the Honorable Elijah Muhammad about some of his actions, about some of the things he was
Some of his
doing, the
teachings.
different wives, the different women that were pregnant for him. And Malcolm, he needed to understand that. And minister was asking him to not say certain things. And it happened in the early 60s, before he was assassinated, when
Is that when he got back?
JFK, no, this was before, when
Okay.
JFK was assassinated.
Mm-hmm.
And he asked him, he said, brother, don't say anything about that man. He said, because America loves that man. Do not say nothing about him. Malcolm being Malcolm said the infamous, the chicken's coming home to roost.
Mm-hmm.
And he was on the outs with the nation. And then that's when he started feeling the heat, and that's when he went to Mecca.
Yeah.
And when he went to Mecca and he started praying at the temple, and he saw white Muslims, he saw Arab Muslims, and he was like, not that he was wrong, but he expanded his thought process.
Right.
And he changed a lot of how he thought and moved. And ultimately, that led to his assassination.
Mm.
So, yeah. But I was hoping that was Ron Walters you met, because Ron Walters was the one that told Jesse and them campaign. You got to remember, Jesse, they didn't go after Ron Walters' campaign strategists. They were not after that let's just say that MAGA voter.
Mm-hmm.
They were not after him. They were like, y'all could have him.
Yeah.
They were after the MAGA's relatives that was probably sitting there and like, well, that damn Jesse fella, he sound like I sound. I'm for that stuff. And he says, so it's 5 of them versus 1 of them. And that's how Jesse was able to get what Jesse brought in. Man, I can go into a whole bunch of this, but for the sake of time, it was how he changed a lot of things, why he ran for president, because Harold Washington was going to run for mayor in Chicago. And they went to several thought leaders at the time, even in Atlanta. And so like he asked Maynard, like, Maynard, won't you run? And then all of them kind of declined to run because they needed a spokesperson, because Harold Washington was kind of like, I'll do this. I'll run for mayor of Chicago, but man, we need someone talking and advocating us on a bigger level for my platform to work. And so, they asked several brothers, and they were like, no. And so and when we needed somebody to step up, that's when Jesse stepped up and he ran and he provided, because you got to understand, Jesse brought in, he got 7 million votes. He won 11 states. So they brought in, and it's what the Democratic Party should be doing now, is don't chase after those Iowa voters.
Yeah.
Let them be there. And Ron Walters was like, we're not even chasing them. And so Jesse was able to bring in a coalition of new voters. And that's why you had, when he was running 84 and then 88, a lot of black mayors won their seat because he brought in all these new voters who traditionally wouldn't vote. Who else have copied that? Mondani.
Yeah.
Mondani was able to win because he brought in a lot of voters that who otherwise wouldn't vote.
Right.
Obama too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Brand new, fresh voters, man, who voted for the first time.
Absolutely.
Obama got his seat because of Jesse, because Jesse challenged the how they counted the delegates. And I think I talked about this, they changed the delegates when Jesse was running. And that made it so when Obama got to run, even though Hillary was winning. So what happened is, in a nutshell, if you won, like let's say you won Chicago and there was 100 delegates, and when you won, let's say Michigan, and there was 104 delegates. Used to be where they would get all 204. But basically it changed with Jesse is if you won 52% of the vote and somebody won 48% of the vote, you got 52% of the delegates, not all of them. So that's why Hillary was winning a lot of those delegates. And Obama was so she was only able to get a percentage of it. Mm-hmm. And then when Obama won the other states outright, that pushed him higher. And that's how he was able to secure the nomination as the Democratic Republican. So Jesse calls that.
Yeah. So, isn't it nice that a lot of advocates and like really influential leaders are based out of like Illinois, Chicago, North Carolina?
Illinois got a politics that's out there. I mean, it's a.
I mean,
the Chicago's got. They got a thing. I was reading about that today. Chicago politics in the Black hemisphere, and it's deep.
Yeah, it's like Detroit and music, right?
Yeah. Great Migration.
Yeah, it's deep, but those Chicago politicians, Black ones, were the one that influenced all the other states.
Yes. So my mom left Mississippi for Illinois, and then from Illinois she went to Oregon. So that's how she was still, she knew about all of that.
Because that's where it was.
That's where it was, the advocacy and everything. So we would go back. We would catch the train and go back. Like I said, she was really deep into the Rainbow Coalition and everybody else. So
Operation Breadbasket, the push, all that in Chicago. Yeah. So
what I've been doing this forever.
What do y'all think about Jesse Jackson not being buried at the Arlington National Cemetery?
At the Rotunda.
It's not Arlington. He has to be a service member to do that. Okay. It was the MAGA Muppet, Mike Johnson, declined to have him lie in state at the Rotunda.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so he said it's only recognized for presidents, but John Lewis laid in it. They just changed
a lot of other people.
Yeah, it depends on
on who it is.
It depends on who it is. Just like they didn't honor him by lowering the flag half past. Now we did here in North Carolina. Josh Stein, shout out to him, made sure it was done. But the president felt like he wasn't worthy enough, but CK was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
and what was it called again? The what?
The Rotunda.
Rotunda.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lie in state in the Rotunda. But he will lie in state in South Carolina passed, ironically, that Republican-led caucus passed where he can. So I think they end up pushing the service back. So he is going to be in Columbia, South Carolina, part of one of his services, because I know he's going to have a service in South Carolina. And I think there will be another service in Chicago and then one in D.C.
Wow.
And so, but Columbia, South Carolina, right. Well, with him being from Greensville, South Carolina, they wanted to honor him, One thing I did not know Jesse went to North Carolina A&T. I did not know that.
I know it is.
Yeah, I did not know he was the president of the Student Body Union. That's where he actually got his start.
Well, I can picture that. Definitely.
Yeah, he was. I did not know. The story is that he showed up without his paperwork. And the president at the time, God dog, what's the president? He was the famous president of North Carolina A&T. Hopefully, I'll fact check or find that out real quick. I forget his name, but if you say his name, I'm gonna know who it is. But
president of North Carolina A&T back
then? In 60. He arrived there in 59 or 60. And he showed up there because, remember, his roots were, I think that he was accepted to go to a college in Chicago, and his mama wanted to keep him close because Jesse was born out of wedlock. I think his mama was like, she was young.
Burns.
Why you telling all this business?
Because a lot of you need to know this in Greenville, South Carolina.
Born out of wedlock.
Well, the neighbor. So for 13 years, his name Jesse Lewis Burns was his name for 13 years until he took on his grandmother's last name, being Jackson. But for 13 years, he was Jesse Lewis Burns.
Was it Dr. Warmoth T. Gibbs? That's what I found.
No.
It wasn't him?
No, it wasn't him. He wasn't the president, not Gibbs.
Dr. Lewis C. Dowdy.
Who?
Dr. Lewis C. Dowdy?
Dowdy?
Dowdy, yeah.
No. I don't think.
Then what year you say?
I think it was in 1960. You just got to, I forget. He was one of the great HBCU great presidents. Man, I forget his name.
Wow. Well, maybe I need to go to ChatGPT because this is
Oh,
saying
my
Jesse,
goodness.
this is saying Jesse Jackson transferred to North Carolina A&T University in 1960 and graduated in 1964.
Yes.
During this period, the president of the institution was Dr. Warmoth T. Gibbs,
Well, it might have been Gibbs.
who served as president, later chancellor from 1956. Huh?
I don't know about our fact checker.
Our fact checkers, he's gonna figure it out. But what
Yeah.
what I want to tell you the story is with the president. So Jackson shows up, as he said, he transferred. He got there in 60. He showed up without all his paperwork together. And the administrator at the time goes to the president, and the president, and there was a student, let's just say liaisons, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And the administrator of it was denying him. It was like, hey, man, your paperwork's not together.
Yeah.
And the person who was the liaisons for the student, there's a title for that person, was kind of like, no, we need to accept it. So that person went to the president and he said, hey, listen, you got to accept this guy. The administrator will not accept him because he don't have his paperwork filled out properly. And the president at the time was like, well, you tell them, he said, you tell them to admit him. And I want you to come back and tell me, why did I admit him?
Oh.
And then he went on to be, Jesse Jackson went on to really take over that campus as part of the Woolworth 4, sitting in those lunch counters of Woolworth 4.
In Greensboro.
Greensboro, yes.
Yep.
Right down the street.
Yeah. And so
it's a museum now.
Yeah. And then he went on to be the student body president. So he was doing a lot of things over there in South Carolina. And so that president, the guy he was like, no, you want to accept him. And the rest is history.
Took a chance.
Wow.
Took a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it was. Well, I asked two sources, Google and ChatGPT, and I get the same thing.
Oh, my
In
goodness.
1960, when Jackson entered A&T, the school's president was Warmoth T. Gibbs.
There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I just couldn't think of the name at the time. But
Okay.
I love
Hey, I
that,
can get
that
half
bit of
of it,
Black
right?
history, during Black History Month.
Mhm.
All the facts,
I mean, even with Malcolm X, a lot of stuff he said back then is still prevalent today. It's still very much present as far as, well, I don't know if I can say this, but the stuff he was talking about as far as don't let your oppressors teach you. I'm paraphrasing, you know. And
right. Remember, I told you guys about that.
Hey, yeah.
Know
don't
your
let nobody-
history.
Yeah.
Because if your oppressors teach you your history, you're not going to like it.
Not gonna like it, bro. So
And it's going to be wrong.
I think he's probably the most prominent leader, thought leader, Black leader in that position to maintain that, I guess because it rings so recent. Like, man, he said this stuff like 20, 30 years ago, longer than that. And we still hearing it, still going through it. So I think that's something that a lot of the younger generation need to study and read up on and understand why it matters.
So they'll understand what's going to happen today. Go ahead.
So I was about to ask something like that. So studying Black history and learning Black history, I was going to ask, how does that really help today with all of what's going on?
Leon, I don't know.
Knowing the Black history and learning your Black history is good, but what does that help? Just to know it and what may reoccur today.
Exactly. Because history doesn't repeat itself, but it often rhymes. And so it will show up in a rhythmic type of thing. And so when you know what the others before us, our ancestors, had to deal with, and if you read whatever, like he's saying now, a lot of it is still relevant till this day.
So what will be done? I guess that's my main question. Like, what can be done?
I think it helps you better understand what's going on around you, right? It helps you understand as far as our current climate, right? And now with social media, you're getting information from all areas, so you're able to kind of, I guess, combat that. That theory from some of the people that are posting, because there are a lot of people that is very much loud and wrong. Right.
Yeah,
so understanding our history helps us be able to not only educate others, but also know the difference between right and wrong.
Yeah.
That's just something I always ask KP.
Right, and I keep telling him the same thing, and I
And you
give
keep falling for the
him
trap.
same scenario. I give him
when you go back and look at some of the Black history stuff, it don't do nothing to make you mad all over again.
It
and,
can
and
make
what
you
gonna
mad,
do?
but it's how you look at it. If you look at a lot of it, will pave the way. So learning history help you learn how to pave the way of how to fight whatever times that we're in now.
Yeah.
And it always helps, because if you look at just something quick, like Charles Hamilton Houston was a brilliant lawyer. He got his law degree out of Harvard, and he was the one, because if you learn history, he was the one that fought the government when it comes to that separate but equal, when it comes to schooling and funds and things for schools. So Charles Hamilton Houston paved the way for the Thurgood Marshall and Spotswood Robinson to usher in, because he won a few battles before 1954.
Right.
And he laid the groundwork because they studied him.
Mm-hmm.
And he laid the groundwork to give them the premise of how they were going to attack, how they were going to fight the Board of Education. And like, okay, you guys say that we're separate but equal. Well, how about give us equal funding?
Right.
If we're separate, give us equal funding. And obviously we know what happened with that. They just said, well, we'll just close the schools. And so because they knew history,
Right.
they studied. It was like, okay, we're in this battle. How can we do this? How can we get funding for our schools? Charles Hamilton Houston laid the groundwork in how to do it. Yeah. And they used some of his work.
They still use it to this day. If you really think about
day.
it, Benjamin Crump uses a lot of Thurgood Marshall's case law that he used to fight a lot of his civil rights cases that are still relevant. I mean, he's been using it for years because it set the tone for today, which is crazy. When you say history doesn't repeat itself, it does every time Benjamin Crump is going to court.
It's crazy.
Right.
Because if not, he wouldn't have to use that same case law from back in the day.
Well, what I'm saying, it does. When I say it doesn't repeat itself, like if it repeats itself, then we'll be slaves again.
Well, yeah, I'm using it like in certain aspects.
That's what I'm saying, right?
Does,
so
right?
that's why I say it all. It rhymes.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of similar. They just still try to enslave us, but of a mental slavery.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would agree with that.
So there's a rhyme. There's a rhythm to it.
But when you say like looking up history and kind of upsets you at some time, I think that's needed. Because if you get too relaxed and it doesn't, and when it stops bothering you, it stops becoming meaningful.
Right. Also, you tend to forget.
Oh, quick.
Definitely tend to forget.
You know?
I had a good friend of mine that was earlier this week. Towards the end of last week, he was sending me a lot of stuff. And then he texted me, he's like, man, I'm going to stop sending you this shit because I'm getting madder and madder. The more the stuff I send you, the madder I get. And I was like, me. I said, brother, that's why you got to unplug.
Right.
I said, you got to unplug because if you don't, you're going to turn into some vigilante and you're just going to want to go out there and see who wants to smoke. Yeah. And I was like, it's good that you're upset. Then we use that energy to apply towards the fight.
Yeah.
You know? I think when you get upset, man, it shows that you care.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. It hits home, right? And then you start reminiscing on something that's similar that happened to you. Yeah. And you're like, man.
Right.
I can't believe that.
It hit home a lot. Even if it doesn't hit home, if just looking up a lot of American history, Black history, slave history, and you start realizing like whatever was taught in school doesn't even scratch the surface.
No.
Doesn't even. No. I mean, it doesn't even come close.
Because they're not gonna.
And hold on, but even now that is being rebranded.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Remember we were like required to watch Roots and that was graphic. So
right.
Like, oh my goodness. Yeah. Right? Even in Oregon, fact checker. Even in Portland, Oregon, we watched
I didn't think Roots made it that far.
And episodes of Roots.
Why you pointing it towards me? Because I always come on you from Oregon.
You know that it was a requirement in Portland, Oregon.
Oh,
I remember being in school and there was a certain teacher, Miss Moore. That's all everybody knew her. You know, when you talk, they'd be like, "Hey, if you get Miss Smith, you know she hard. She teach hard." But Miss Moore had at William Pitcher Junior High. I'll never forget. She was known for always.
What's going on? I hope that you are enjoying this episode. But I wanted to take the time out to ask you to please subscribe to the podcast. I've noticed that a lot of people are watching but are not subscribed. Make sure you subscribe, like, share, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. That way you won't miss an episode when it's aired or about to air. And also make sure you go to impelforwardmerch.com. That's impelforwardmerch.com. Grab you something. Now back to the episode.
showing these slave movies.
Mhm.
And at some point, I remember maybe it was 8th grade. I think that's what she taught. And I remember sitting in there, I'm like, this is not comfortable. I don't like this.
It's very
You
uncomfortable.
know, and it's
Very.
like all I'm seeing is this barbaric way of people that look like me being treated in an inhumane way. I'm like, this is not educational, because I didn't learn anything other. I didn't learn anything other than I did not want to. I think eventually she had to stop showing those. I can't remember. I got a
She
foggy
didn't
memory,
explain it?
but that's the only thing they taught us.
Yeah. Oh,
They
yeah,
didn't teach
yeah.
us anything else, because
Yeah.
we all learned. We learned Edgar Allan Poe.
Yeah, for sure.
We all
Yeah.
learned Ernest Hemingway.
Mhm.
We all learned about quote the Raven no more, whatever, and then we learned about all those things, but we didn't learn about Langston Hughes. They didn't teach us about
Shakespeare and all of those
They
things,
didn't
right?
teach us about Zora Neale Hurston.
Oh, we
you
learned
know.
about learning in
Well,
Oregon.
because you're a little north. They might have taught y'all something. No, I'm saying the
you're from
education in
Portland.
the
I'm
north.
saying Their Eyes Are Watching God was one of my favorite books.
Okay, well, that's good. That's good.
Mhm.
That's good. But what I'm saying is, in certain sections in the deep south where I was,
Mhm.
a lot of that wasn't taught.
Which is
But
crazy, because I would expect
you
it
would
to be
think that.
Nah.
No.
I wouldn't think
They
that.
got to remember. I told you
wouldn't think
that history does not repeat itself, but it often rhymes.
Yeah,
The rhyme is to keep us enslaved in our mind
gotcha.
by not allowing us to learn how great we were or the things that we overcame. Because
Okay.
if you learn that, then you become a force to reckon with. It makes you dig deeper into, wait a minute, no, how did this sharecropping stuff? So you mean to tell me after slavery, they didn't know, but then we had to do sharecropping and they still was cheating them out of money, so, you start learning these things. And so that's why they didn't teach. So you would think in the South, no, thank the United Daughters of the Confederacy for that.
I guess so. They just moved that all towards
Yeah.
the West
Yeah.
Coast to Oregon, where we. But also, my mother played a part in that. She was an avid reader too. So
You had to be. One thing that I've learned now that I have been able to travel travel in the United States is that people that near the higher part of the Mason-Dixon line, and I want to say South Carolina, even Georgia, and some parts of especially Maryland and over there, y'all education, the things y'all learned was a little different. Y'all learned a lot more about our blacks in history than we learned. Not saying that we didn't learn some, but I noticed when I talked to some of the people that are in the same age group where I am, you guys got taught a lot more stuff than we did.
Yeah.
You know, especially if you were in New York and you were around the Muslim brothers, and a lot of those guys are Muslim. Because I remember being in the South, and a friend of mine, his family members would come home and they were Muslims. And I was like, well, how what you mean you Muslim, And that's because they grew up in Chicago. And they grew up, and so there was a different teaching. There was a level of awareness,
Yeah.
that they had a conscious level that I'm not going to say we in the South, but I had not reached. Because when they were coming, I was like, what you mean? And they had Muslim names. And that's because you being around that Chicago, because they were from Chicago.
Right.
And you're around that type of representation. And it opens your mind. And so, that's where I've seen, not that it was better.
I think I seen one Muslims down where I was in South Carolina back in the 80s.
You didn't
But
see
also,
that?
you have to remember, like, New York is a mixing pot, right?
Yes.
That's where a lot of people
It's
migrated
very
to.
diverse.
So,
Yeah.
With it having so many different, cultures, you tend to learn and see different things. So the schools were forced to have to teach, many different things,
That's the way to look at
because,
it.
like in Oregon, or other states, it's like pretty much black and white, right? But you go to New York, it's so many different, cultures and different things. So what do? You have to teach everything. So, the youth and the kids will know what's going on. And that's why I feel like they're a little bit more advanced when it comes to religion and culture and
everything. You end up learning it just by osmosis, by being around it.
Yeah, but also they had to, in the schools, why is this person, wearing a head wrap? And why is this person, why don't they celebrate Christmas? And, they were kind of forced.
Yeah.
I do, yeah.
And which would have been great, if that was something that was taught all around the world.
That was good that you guys learned that in Oregon. I wouldn't have. The only thing I knew about Oregon, and we need to get our fact checker if he's stopped with the camera, but I know in 1940, I think it was 1947, they had just abolished part of their state constitutions for blacks.
Redlining.
Yes, they
Yes.
had just abolished that then and allowing blacks to make and enforce contracts, work in certain places,
Yeah, live in certain places.
live in certain places.
We actually lived. I grew up in a home, like middle school on up, where it was an area in which blacks were not allowed. But I grew up in that area.
That was
I went
part
to
of
that
their
same
state
high school
constitution
and everything.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
it was redlining was huge.
Now, what fact do you want me to get straight?
Oh no, she got it. It was like 1947 when they kind of like rewrote their state constitution because their state constitution didn't allow blacks to own businesses, live in certain areas.
Yeah,
and they didn't amend that constitution. I think they did it in 1947, and so because before then blacks weren't allowed to own businesses, own properties in certain areas, and there was a few other little points in there. My memory's getting a little foggy, but
that was mainly it. It was a lot of redlining. And not being, ownership, home ownership, jobs, you know, they were only specifically like on one side of the area. And of course, pay, right? That was huge.
We're still fighting that stuff today.
Yeah.
Still fighting. It's not like out
definitely,
there.
but it was like
history rhymes.
It was a line in the
it was covert now.
Yeah, well, in Oregon, it was like a line in the sand, like here, here. Like you wasn't crossing here.
The railroad tracks.
Absolutely.
What side of the tracks you from? Yeah,
absolutely.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Well, some Black history moments for y'all.
Love those. Love those.
Yes.
Oh, goodness. What you got for us?
Well, you know what's been going on in the news. Been going on for months. Epstein.
Oh, goodness.
There's been some arrests been happening. I don't know if there's any in the U.S., but there's been some happening.
It would never be in the U.S.
Yeah, I don't think
it ain't gonna happen. Yeah, if it ain't been by now, after everything that's been leaked, man.
These boys been talking so much crap about how the United States is the shining star, the pillar of everything, and the only thing that we're good for is corruption. Because these other countries, they got constitutions,
right?
And they uphold them. And there are so many of these people that was named in those Epstein. One of these guys got arrested today, took into custody, and I forget where he's from. But
the Queen Elizabeth's son.
Yeah, right? Prince Andrew. Yeah, but y'all got to remember, they took his rights away 2 months ago.
Right.
Because they kind of, they had the insight as to
how dare you shun on the
don't
castle.
Disrespect the royal family.
Yeah. But other countries, in dealing with the people that are named in there, they are arresting them and they are bringing the charges upon them.
Do you think that we're waiting?
No.
Wait on what?
Why? Look, so listen to this. This has been since 2004, 2006, right? They've had this information already that we're now being exposed to.
Right.
And one thing that I had to learn is that we would hear all these conspiracies about Hillary's running this child Pizzagate, this child pedophilia and a thing, and we've heard all these conspiracies. Come to find out, it's kind of true. There's this cabal of rich elites taking advantage of children, and had it not been for these two high school students arguing in high school about, well, you're a prostitute, and then this one had $300 on her, and the counselor's like, where you get this money from? And it's like, well, we do back massages and we do. And that's how the Jeffrey Epstein blew up.
She brought her friend.
She brought her friend,
They was talking too much.
They was talking too much. Like, and that's how it actually blew up. But then we find out all of these high-powered people
rabbit hole is deep.
Are implicated in all of this. And the reason why I say there won't be any arrest, because there should have been arrest already when they were doing the investigation before they gave him this sweetheart of a deal before rearresting him for some other charges and putting him in whatever that federal penitentiary. So
that's true. Another Black fun fact.
Yes, it says
he wasn't in the files.
None of us.
Obama.
Oh, Barry.
Right.
Allegedly, they say one of your rappers was in there. Allegedly.
Man,
I mean,
Jay-Z didn't get down with that kind of stuff.
I did see him with what's the guy name that everybody connect Oprah to?
Weinstein.
I did see
Weinstein. I mean, a lot. Well, he was a mover and a shaker in the music.
Yeah.
He, people with money hang around people with money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't.
I guess
I can't say you hang around like when you make money, you hang around people within your bracket, right?
You
So
do.
Facts.
You do.
you go to you get invited to parties and everything with people within your same bracket. That's why I don't understand when people are like, oh, you know, this girl off topic is a pass around. No, she's in that industry. She has a little cake, so she gonna get invited to people to meet people on her tax bracket, right?
Yeah.
That's why we don't never see, you know, these players and these politicians, because we're just not there.
Yeah.
I do know
the
with
parties are exclusive.
The
Yeah.
parties
Yeah.
are exclusive.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't say they're not doing anything, but to say allegedly Jay-Z was there, but he was hanging around Harry or whatever,
Yeah.
he's in their tax bracket.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't see
and that's
billionaires
probably
gonna be billionaires.
that's the extent of it, because I mean, just like you said, this Epstein thing is going to be one of the fibers that crack this country that kind of make a lot of people look at. All right,
already
you
had,
guys are this whole y'all all full of shit.
Yeah.
They're the same ones that when you were having these bathroom wars, especially here in North Carolina, I don't want men in bathrooms with my girls and this and that. And remember that whole fight about the bathrooms and about men being in the bathrooms with their daughters. That's these same Republican people talking, and then come to find out, you know, you got all these same little young girls being trafficked and being taken advantage of on Epstein Island and in some of these highfalutin places here in the United States, and they said nothing about that.
Or at home on their laptops and telephones.
Right.
Because they just picked somebody else up. It was a meme. It's Isaiah Martin, you know, Democratic.
Oh man, he be killing them.
He
my
be
God, murdering them. He cooks them. He just let them cook themselves too.
He posted a memes where JD Vance was like, "You're talking about the pedophiles. Where are you?
Where they live?
Where they live?" And he posted a picture of the White House, and he had all these little red dots. Was like, I don't know.
Oh
yeah.
So the person they arrested was Peter Mandelson
today.
British
yeah,
British police.
But you got to remember, to them, like KP said, they hold the Constitution. So, you know, although they've been holding the files for a while, they probably were keeping it away from all of these people. So therefore, you're not going to bring shame to this country in this position. You going to jail.
Now I also heard today that what's the man name? Bill Gates.
He's in there.
He's had this big AI conference he was supposed to go to.
Yeah,
but he's not going. He canceled it.
Because I think they asked Melinda some
because
questions.
They will hold him there.
Right.
Yeah, well, maybe, but there wouldn't be no extradition because nobody's trying to arrest him here.
I know, so they would just hold him there as a way to, like, you know, they're all upset with Trump, right? So it would be a way to prove a point. So they would hold him there, like, this is what we do. As an example, this is what we do to people like him.
Yeah,
you might not want to go
listen,
there.
So after this Trump first term and second term, it makes me draw a deeper line in the sand. Like, none of these MAGA people, none of these conservatives, none of these evangelicals, they don't have I will never argue with them. I will never engage them. It's like pointless because you're evangelicals, you're talking about our children and you see this in you see it.
Yeah.
And you say nothing, you do nothing. You still, you know, because we have a constitution, but it's been corrupt. Yeah. And we have a judicial system that is being mirrored in it's bought and paid for.
Is it corrupt or is it just amended based on who's, you know?
It's about power, money, and proximity.
Oh boy.
And because these other countries, aside from the Epstein people being arrested, these other countries, they're not bullshitting. Listen, South Korea just gave their former president who caused an insurrection.
Life sentence.
Hell yeah, they locked his ass up.
Life sentence.
And the one Barzaro from Brazil locked his ass up for doing the same thing. The same thing that Trump was doing here. Those other countries not playing.
I would really hate to see somebody from Africa because I feel like that'll be televised.
Yeah.
So look at a lot of those countries, man, and there's a huge difference in its longevity. Because a lot of those countries are hundreds to thousands of years
older than us.
So, America's still an infant country.
249 years old. Yeah.
It's a respect thing also, right?
For what? Between what?
Like these other countries, like, you know, if you're going to be in these top positions,
it's a loyalty thing. It's a loyalty thing.
That too.
Because when I look at the Constitution,
a child person and then you want to run a country or you want to be in a position.
Because one thing about the
might as well run to
Constitution,
the United States.
I'm done. I'm done.
America's finally seeing now like how the Constitution is a gentleman's agreement.
That's
But that-
exactly what
that
it
only
is. It's a
works.
parking lot handshake.
It only works if gentlemen agree on it.
Right.
And Trump
Right.
really ain't in the business of being a gentleman. He's been
Well, he because he knows that the
Congress
people
been
that look
quiet.
like him are going to allow him. We're going to talk about a little bit about the Iran setting up for an Iran war. He
Mhm.
said he's got the military position to strike, and he's given them ultimatum. He has to go through constitutionally.
Well,
he has to go through Congress
He does.
to do that. And he's just subverting it. Like, right?
Yeah,
No,
the
I
whole
don't have to do
Venezuela
it.
thing.
Yeah, he just because he knows that the people that are behind him, they're not going to do anything. Just like when the Supreme Court struck down the tariffs, they said they were illegal.
Yeah.
He used another loophole to, you know what? He doubled down on it, and now he imposed a 15% on every country.
But it's will only last for 150 days.
Yeah.
And he said he don't have to go to Congress, right?
No, this
Because
is
they
his
use
loophole.
that's the little loophole.
Yeah.
So he just imposed 15% on everybody,
Yeah.
which is idiotic.
Right.
But some people we have free trade with. Canada.
Canada.
Yeah.
We have free trade with them. There's
Mhm.
nothing get better than free trade, meaning
Mhm.
equal and the United States, is God.
Well, him and the Canada president don't get along.
And that's why he's petty.
So
And
look, also the guy who's been in question, Leslie Westner, he used to own
Westner was owner of
Victoria's Secret
Victoria's
Secret.
He owned a
bathroom
couple-
bottle. Even though
big things.
he sold it,
Yeah.
I wonder who he sold it to. But because I wonder if women still support those places, black women. A lot of
Well,
black
I
women,
mean, it's
know.
again he had Victoria's Secret, so he can.
Bath and Body Works.
It's been a minute.
What I
I
would.
think once black women find out,
Yes.
and honestly, not a lot of black women
Yeah.
really support Victoria's Secret. It's very
I don't
young.
know about that.
It's
But
it's very young. I think a lot
I-
of black women.
I don't know. I don't know. I
I'm
think
speaking
you
on
know.
behalf of- I'm speaking on behalf of a lot of black women. It's still very young, right? I would say there's other better places in which you can find some things that I've been there maybe once a
there's
year.
Fredericks of Hollywood. I think there's
I don't know
yeah.
if they're still there.
again, I don't buy it. So
Exactly. So I mean, we can go to Nordstrom, and I mean, there's
Yeah.
plenty of other places. We don't
Right.
have to support them.
But
I know, but I don't know.
But the point, the bigger point is that we're not missing, is that these particular people create what they want.
Yeah.
And Wexler, he's Victoria's Secret, so they have they have the modeling and they have the shows that they do. And listen, I learned this a long time ago. Story time in my life. Long time ago, I was when I was young, I was probably, let's just say 14 years old.
Mhm.
And in my neighborhood, I had a group of friends, and we had a subset group of friends, and we would all go play because the middle school is in our neighborhood, and that middle school had a basketball court with cement with 4 goals in it. And so as the kids that lived in that hood, in that hood, that's where we went to go play basketball,
Mhm.
and it's right around the corner from where we all live. And so
Makes
we
sense.
would all go shoot basketball there, the group of my friends, and there was another set of group of friends.
Mhm.
There was a house right before you got to the school, right on the left. Anybody listening to this from my hometown know who I'm talking about. And there was this guy that lived in this house with him and his brother. And this particular guy, something about discernment. I always had a good discernment about people that were up to nefarious things that didn't make sense to me or whatever. And so this particular guy, he worked at Pizza Hut. So you got to remember 13 and 14-year-olds, they'd be like, hey, man, so-and-so, he going to bring pizzas. He going to have pizza. I would look with my other friend like, man, I'm not going over there.
Yeah.
And so what he ended up doing, we would all be dribbling, we all in the hood, we dribbling the ball going to
Play ball.
play ball at Pineview. And because that was the name of the middle school. So we would go to Pineview and play ball. And we're dribbling the ball there. And the one day we were dribbling the ball going through that. And I noticed said person was putting up a basketball goal in his yard, which is, like I said, right next to the school.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because he saw where a lot of the young men, we were all playing basketball. So he figured if he can siphon some of them off to come play in the yard with him,
Yeah.
that's good. Remember, pedophiles and people that are that have intent to harm kids, they create and they get into environments where they can be around them.
Yeah.
And so he ended up, some of the other subset of friends was like, hey man, we going by so-and-so and shoot ball in the yard. And I was like, nah, we good. We dribble the ball, walk them right past him, and they'd be in the yard. One of my friends was like, man, the guy who's the fucking pedophile he was like, man, he always want to post me up. He tell me, hey man, come post me up. And we all looking at him like, what he just want to get up on you, bro. So fast forward without going into too much detail. One of those kids end up breaking the story to maybe their grandmother. And it all came out that, he was giving these guys fellatio. They were knocking him down because he entrapped him with the pizza and the basketball goal. And so I learned at an early age that when people are trying to do things like that, they're creating a haven so that they can thrive. And so when I see Trump owns Miss America, Teen USA, when I see Wexler owns Victoria's Secrets along with the modeling showcases, those guys create avenues in which they can do their work. And that taught me a long time ago when they see that. So when people would tell me about Trump, I was like, first of all, he told you he would do it on the Howard Stern show. He was like, hey, yeah, when he was like, because Howard Stern was like, those girls are hot. He said, yeah. And he said, I walk in there and I inspect them. And he was like, he said, yeah, when you're the owner, you can go in there. I'm not going to do his voice. And he said on the thing, he said, when you're the owner, you can go in there like inspect them and stuff like that. Like, what is a grown man going in there inspecting these teenage girls and or these Miss USA pageant girls? And there was a lady that did an interview in 2001 saying that he came in there and was really inspecting all of the girls. And again, when you're a part of that, you create that so that you could do that. And so I didn't have to wait for him the Hollywood Access tape to come out when he said he's gonna grab him by the pee, because when you're a star, they let you do it. He's telling you what he's done told you in so many interviews what he do. And then when somebody comes out and say, yes, he did this, then you're like fake news. And so I'm done with this country, bro.
Yeah. And that kind of makes sense because like you think about the person who created Victoria's Secret, right?
Yeah.
And you're saying they create these spaces. Then, after that, you still like them young because Victoria's Secret was, was made for the older woman, right? Then you create Pink. What's Pink? Pink is for the young girls.
Right.
You know what I mean? To intrigue them to come in. And now, then you advance to Victoria's Secret.
You will find you will find that all these people that get caught, they created a way to be in. It could be the music teacher at your school who you can kind of tell that lives a certain way, but now he wants to be over the choir and the music teacher.
Or it's the gymnastics.
Or the doctor.
The doctor who has to check you before every game and secretly, don't even get me started.
And then you come to find out that they have pedophilia on their thing, but even with the Olympic.
That's what I'm talking about.
They get in these jobs and they create these worlds so that they can thrive in them.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I see certain men doing certain things, kind of side eye, I'm like, why are you into that?
Yeah.
Because again, I learned early in life, they create these environments so that they can thrive and so that they can get more. And I often say this, they was like, well, why are these Republicans always against abortion and things? I say, other than the birth dearth, the thing that's going with the reduction of white America having less kids, it was like, well, somebody was asking me, they was like, KP, why are they so hell bent on no abortions? I was like, because they need more stock. He was like, what are you talking about? I say, they need you to have more kids so they can molest them.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
It said that I was looking at something. Have y'all ever heard of Francis Duffield?
No.
It said he had an island like Epstein back in the early, I guess, I forgot when it was, but a while ago, in Michigan, near Michigan, some island off Michigan. And he said he kind of did the same thing. And he never got charged for it. When they found out about it, he left, fled the country, and he never got charged for it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It was bringing little boys onto the island.
It makes sense. They can get away with it. There was this guy in California that was killing a lot of black boys. His last name was Buck. I forget. And it wasn't until the third black gay man died in his possession at his home. I think two of them had died. He never got charged. his last name was Buck, man. He had a certain sexual proclivity for black men, and they would mysteriously die at his house.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I think maybe the third or fourth body,
Man.
and they decided to like, all right, maybe we need to investigate this guy. You know, it was some guy in California. I know his last name was Buck, and I remember it took a while to prosecute this person.
Yeah.
So, because other than that, he was going to fly to the
I
radar.
don't see them
You
arresting
gotta
anybody. Right now.
remember, recently it was a couple white guys who were trying to kidnap black women and taking them over to an island and abuse them. It was an island. Was it the women were out of Haiti or some sort of Caribbean country? They were going to go get them.
Oh, these two numb nuts. Yeah, that was about 4 months ago. These two dudes was gonna they were training to take over a section of Haiti, a certain sub island. That's right off of the island. And they had like 100,000 people on it, or 50,000 people.
Yeah.
And they thought these two now melanated guys thought that they were going to be able to go over there, take over it, and enslave the women and kill off all the men until the FBI or whomever caught it. I wish they wouldn't have caught them.
But it was an island where most people don't visit.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So
I so wish they wouldn't have caught. I so wish they would have went over there, because it would have been grand opening, grand closing.
They're probably not gonna make any more arrests, because speaking of FBI, Cash Patel was over there celebrating with the soccer team. Over there
the hockey team.
The hockey team? Yeah, the hockey team. Over there drinking the beers.
I saw
and everything.
that.
You saw that?
Yeah, I saw
and it's
that.
like, dude, come on, man, do your job.
So this thing says Sheffield bought North Fox Island and ran a boys' camp called Brother Paul's Children's Mission,
It just tells on
which
itself.
was a front for making child pornography, which was sold abroad on the international and national black market.
Oh, that's.
He also was a big brother in the Ann Arbor YMCA's Big Brother program.
Big brother in the YMCA.
And found victims that way. The island was 20 plus miles offshore, so there was no easy escape. He had small planes, landing strip. The known years of operation were from 1976 to 77. And it says possible Oakland County child killer Christopher Bush was known as a subscriber to the ring. Wow. Then he said he fled to France in 1976 before he could be arrested. So so it's been going on,
man. Like they're not really protecting children. It's not a priority.
It's never been.
Like the whole Roblox thing is still an issue. You know, they're still catching predators on there all the time.
It's been big talk.
I used to love watching the NBC Dateline How to Catch a Predator with Chris Hansen. And like how you strolling and so hey.
It's a young black guy on YouTube who does that.
Really?
He has a show.
Really?
You know I watch YouTube.
But they stopped stuff like that because it was making too much waves. You know, people were getting called out for it. And it'd be the same people get caught up who got kids the same age, you know?
Yeah.
So that makes you think like these kids at home ain't protected.
No one's protected.
No one.
Speaking of not being protected, the
Ed Buck, that was his name. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Who are you looking for?
No. I was talking about the guy. No, go ahead.
I was
not the island. The guy in California, I said his name was Ed Buck. That's who it was. They sentenced him 30 years in federal prison. Yeah. And sentenced in two how you say that word?
Methamphetamine.
There you go. So, because a lot of them were like, they were dying.
Right.
Yeah.
And then eventually, because he's very powerful and he had the money. So that's what I was talking about, Ed Buck.
Yeah. Well, moving on to the Mexican cartel.
When we talk about nobody's being protected, Mexico is not the place you want to be right now.
Yeah. I heard the U.S. went over there and did that?
No,
or they just
that was fake. No.
So what's going on? I hear
the government been after this drug lord for all these times. He was notorious.
And they unalived him.
The Mexican government.
Yeah.
The Mexican government did.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
The Americans, we just got caught in the middle by default, like collateral damage. You want
I heard
you want these people, you're gonna have to pay for them.
But I heard some Americans over there that can't leave on their stuff.
Well, because they took over the airport.
Yeah, and Costco. Crazy, right?
That's your store. Costco.
I know.
Can't
I
get
thought
nothing
Costco
in
was
bulk.
on fire.
That's wild.
But yeah, and it's a lot of areas, like touristy areas in Mexico. It's like
Puerto
Puerto
Vallarta.
Vallarta. It is Cancun.
Yep.
It is
wild, bro.
Playa del Carmen. All of these, touristy areas in Mexico. I feel sorry for those people. They stuck.
Yeah, they stuck.
They
what it is.
They letting planes. They
Trump
lit up
ain't
the
gonna go over
airport.
there.
They lit up the airport.
Yeah, I saw the news report, man, of people like running off the planes down the runway back into the airport.
They had to lock it down.
Going
They
on
said
right
they
now.
were unalive and just regular citizens.
And what was the drug again? What's that drug?
The guy?
The drug that he was.
I don't know. He was just the head of
He
Cartel.
was head of that cartel.
But they named that specific drug that everybody be on all the time.
Fentanyl?
Fentanyl, I think it was.
I don't think it's fentanyl. Mexico,
yeah. Look it up. I thought I saw fentanyl.
Mexico is
fentanyl come from China. I'm not
come from China, but I'm pretty sure it was.
Mexico is more like
cocaine.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't say coke when I saw it though. It didn't say
Cartel do everything to get money.
Yeah.
So I mean, you definitely fact checker.
Oh,
but I just pray for families and friends and people over there who is visiting, want to go.
Be careful.
Just think you was at an all inclusive.
And you look over the high rise, like some of them I saw videos, and you see things on fire.
Yeah.
And you see these people dressed in fatigue, just doing whatever.
Rip.
Because they're like because it's not like they're at war with another Mexican cartel.
No,
they're going to war with the military.
Yeah.
And just think like they want you. R.I.P. to Costco. Like what they do.
It don't matter. Everybody
it's a
can
real
get
thing,
it.
man. When I used to live in Texas, and I saw I used to live on the border in El Paso, and there would be shootings across the border every time, like from Mexico straight into the city.
What's going on? I hope that you are enjoying this episode, but I wanted to take the time out to ask you to please subscribe to the podcast. I've noticed that a lot of people are watching but are not subscribed. Make sure you subscribe, like, share, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. That way you won't miss an episode when it's aired or about to air. And also make sure you go to impelforwardmerch.com. That's impelforwardmerch.com. Grab you something. Now back to the episode.
Employees, they have to travel there to the border of Texas. And, a lot of my female coworkers, I took them away from traveling there because all of the hotels are like, there's guards in front of them.
Yeah.
Everywhere over there.
Right there.
It's
bro.
not really the safest area. And, trafficking is high over there.
Along that whole border is wild. 20-foot fence right there.
Yeah. I never had any aspirations to go to Mexico for vacation.
It's beautiful.
I've been a few times.
Yeah, I just never
don't want to go.
Because you know why? Because I always feared that what happened this weekend would happen.
I mean, that's anywhere, right? That's anywhere. It can happen. It can happen here.
It was 9/11. That happened.
It could, but at least if it happened here, we got a fighting chance. Shout out to the Alabama brawl.
True.
The Montgomery brawl.
Doc brawl. At least we got a chance.
But
as long as I got a folding chair.
Think about like what countries, have it, the cartel and there's an issue. You know what I mean?
But I always feared that would happen.
Mexico
has been one of those high risk.
I would say Brazil as well.
Yeah,
but Brazil is
too.
beautiful.
Yeah. Brazil too.
Take a long time to
they
get
always
there, but
said
it's
if you're
beautiful.
American tourists, be careful of some of these high risk countries because
and
if you do go there, stick to the tourist areas. Don't venture off.
I love Colombia. Listen, I mean,
Yeah, Colombia is now I do want to go to Colombia, especially what is that Palenque, Sandoval, San Brazil de la Palenque. It's all they look like us, and it's carved out as Palenque. And,
okay.
Yeah, Colombians, they showed us the way they look one way, but if you look at the ones that live in Palenque, they look just like us.
Yeah. I've been to, of course, Cali. I've been to not Medellin, but what's the other one?
Cartagena?
Yes, I've been to Cartagena. Beautiful, both places.
All the places.
I'm going to Colombia next month.
With no accent, right? Cartagena.
Cartagena.
Cartagena. Medallion.
Medellin.
Medellin.
Or what makes me so mad is when people put a U in Colombia when they're like, I'm like, please get it together. Colombia.
Man. Shout out to the people out there and people be safe out there in the war zone. Because that's exactly what it is right now.
No phone, no nothing.
Yeah.
Like They on lockdown. So just imagine staying at a hotel and they're like, you can't be in this kitchen.
So who you say war? So who is it? The government against the citizens, or what?
So
who
there
is-
was a
Cartel,
$10 million
Mexican cartel.
there was a $10 million bounty hit on the head of the cartel.
El Chapo.
They put a bounty on him, on his head, and somebody got to him
Mhm.
to get the 10 million. And now, you know, his people are like,
They're at war.
Oh,
It's
They
like,
tear it
oh,
up.
okay, it's up. They like
you
it's up.
unalived the head person. So now we going after you, and you just being American, you just by default, like, we can use you for leverage and get some money, hopefully. But I mean, they should know our president ain't paying for folks.
Yeah.
No.
In negotiation.
So now it's all on lockdown and they just tearing things up. So hotels and places, like, you know, you never know. They could put a bounty on American. They can hear you talk and be like, oh, I might be able to get some money for you. Like, nobody's safe.
I think that cartel want the head of the snake, and that's going to be the head of the military that's there in.
Yeah, but we're money to them though too.
They can see currency, but they also know
We're shields.
that
They
yeah,
say
it could
it,
be a
yeah.
shield.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how that's going to play out, but I do know it's not going to get any better. No
Maybe if
time
I was
soon.
there, when I tell you I would learn Spanish so quick, you wouldn't even believe it.
I can see you. I know black. I can see you right now. I know black.
Por favor.
God.
Como te llamas? Listen, I'm on it. I'm on it real quick.
Google Translate fast.
Yeah,
Mhm.
for sure. Like,
Yeah.
But,
so let's touch about this Iran war, or U.S. supposed to may happen, or do we know anything about that?
I don't know that one.
We're going to lean on our military expert, the modified gentleman,
I don't know
and about
Iranian
strategic
war.
alignment.
Larry, have you ever been to war?
3 times.
3 times.
Well, once, twice.
How's that
I was in
experience?
Afghanistan and Iraq.
Oh yeah.
My first deployment was 15 months. It's crazy. Just over there. Just fresh in the Army. 15 months.
Really?
Because that was before they started shortening them up and doing 9 months. Well, Army, they always did longer than everybody else.
yeah,
So that's what that was.
that's why Larry be ready.
Hey,
Larry be ready.
Listen, man.
I see
mess
what
around,
happens when
you-
you're not ready.
You go,
But that was before the Army.
Yeah,
though.
what's
I ain't
not
gonna
gonna
lie to you.
happen is that Guthrie, like, look, shout out, I mean, you know, blessing to Samantha and her mom, but
It's
that
definitely-
Guthrie is not gonna happen at Larry's residence.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so mad.
Yeah, you
I'm
gonna-
so mad. I'm ready to go get her back because, you know, they say it take a black woman. We know.
Mhm.
We know where she at. Just
Do y'all
Sis,
think?
let me
do
gas
y'all
my
think
car up. I got you.
It's real.
Oh, the
Like,
whole thing?
Like
The whole
as far as I don't know. I just been real suspicious about that.
Me too.
About some,
I just want her tag
I've
me
been
in, sis.
suspicious about that
Tag
too.
me
It just
in.
don't seem right,
It
bro.
don't seem right.
I also have not been following it, so I don't know what
Yeah.
all the details
now I
are
did
about
see
it.
that I think her daughter was one of the first ones to ask questions or report something about the Epstein case or something. I seen that somewhere.
I don't
Say
know.
It's been a while ago.
I know you've been watching it because
You know.
Nico been watching it. So
Say what?
Yeah,
That's how I know. That's how I know nothing's gonna happen with this Epstein stuff. Because not to go back to it, but when you said that, Thomas Massey had to do 2 things. Thomas Massey is one of the Republicans that's come out that's pushing for these Epstein files. It was a key vote. And 2 things. Number one, he had to put out like this PSA: I'm not suicidal. I'm not this. I'm not that. So if something happens to me, I didn't do it. And then the other thing, they were interviewing him the other day, and he said that his people got a call from the Trump administration, pretty much, hey, y'all back off and play ball, or else his chief of staff, I think Thomas Mann, he's going to be brought under federal investigation. And he was like, for what? It was like, and he said it. He said because he's been told to play ball or to back off.
Yeah.
So that's why I know nothing's going to happen with this
Nothing.
Epstein
yeah.
stuff. Not
Also,
here.
you know, Tom Tiller's been quiet.
Who?
Tom Tiller.
Here, y'all, I guess our senator.
I'm just saying. Remember, he was
Ain't
going in
heard
hard a
nothing.
couple months ago.
He
ain't
was.
said nothing.
He ain't said nothing.
He ain't said
Mm-mm.
nothing. Now, somebody. I
Hey.
mean, Listen, we've all watched Scandal.
There's a
The
compromise.
ladder goes
We-
up too high.
we've
man.
all watched Scandal.
I'm sorry. I know what it
Ooh.
is, but I didn't watch
I know the premise, but I do know, just like Thomas
I
Massey,
watch House of Cards.
his people got a call.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was watching Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan was going hard on the Epstein files, and then he backed off.
He backed off.
And then when you listen to him talk, he was like, yeah, I had talked to Trump 2 days ago here recently.
Mm.
And that's why you backed off. You got the call.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
stand down.
Scandal.
Them emails went out.
Mhm.
Them emails
Scandal.
went out.
Stand down.
Yeah.
And stand by.
I see.
Yeah.
Hey.
This is what it was. Savannah Guthrie conducted a series of exclusive NBC News Dateline interviews with victims and survivors.
That's too close. Yeah.
So,
it's real close.
Listen, sis, tag me in. I'll go get your mama.
That's real close.
You know,
you don't
take a
want to be
black
around
woman.
that.
We can find. Look, take
If
us
you
to where he was at the footsteps. We gonna find.
All
something.
you got to do is tell that black
Hey.
woman her man is over there. She gonna find him.
Hey,
We gonna
yo.
find him.
Hey, yo.
Shoot, gas tank full. You know what I mean? Cell phone charged up to the max. Sis, tag me in.
Crazy.
I don't know with
Man.
that case. I mean, it gets crazy and crazy. I know that her mom was taking a lot of medicine that she don't have, and I'm pretty sure that, I hate to say the kidnappers are making sure that she takes her medicine.
I hope so too.
So
They gotta keep her alive if they asking for ransom. They gotta keep her alive.
Well, they probably bit off more than they can chew and realized that this elderly person was taking these life-saving, I wouldn't say life-saving drugs, but something that helped her regulate whatever it is that she's going, and the medicine was left at home.
Yeah.
So, I mean, without it, there's a good
it could get bad
possibility
real
that
quick.
she could be under duress.
Yeah.
Right.
Listen,
So
tag me in.
I guess we didn't do too much studying about that Iran war.
It's still fresh.
Yeah,
All I can
Well,
tell
it's not even a war yet, but
Right.
No, it's
Yeah,
not a
we have to
war.
get
It's
on that.
talking, Trump
listen,
talking.
man. What they call him, Taco McCain. He's got to come up with something to divert from these Epstein things and these blows that he's taking, especially with like the
Supreme Court ruling.
with the Supreme Court rulings.
Yeah.
So
He also
He won a case since he really been in office.
right, and remember, I was talking about the president's house in Philadelphia when they took down those black plaques of the enslaved people that George Washington. Well, they put them back up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and they put him back up because the judge ruled that, hey, you guys didn't have the authority as Park Service to take these things down. So they had to put him back up.
Put it back up. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but he's petty. And
it has something to do with the nuclear missiles or something?
No, they lie. So listen to this. They're talking
That was
about
old news.
They're talking about,
nuclear
they're
missiles.
saying that Iran has the capability because Benjamin Netanyahu is telling, he's been warning, he's been telling since
Decades,
95,
bro.
which is a lie.
Since 95.
Yeah,
I've
since
seen a clip
95.
of
You're right.
Going back from 95.
Right.
all the way
You
up
watch the
every couple
chronology of that,
years.
and you're like, he been playing the United States the whole time. They keep falling for it.
Boy,
Are they
cry wolf.
falling for it, or they need a proxy?
Boy,
Meaning a
cry
person
wolf.
to say, well, so
Yeah.
they're saying that Iran needs to comply with whatever nuclear, saying that they're close to enriching uranium and things like that. But listen to this. 1 year ago, around this time, remember when Trump's first order of business with Pete Hegseth? What's the first thing they did when he got
They
in office?
bombed Iran.
Boom.
Yeah.
And what he said, that their capabilities have been destroyed and it's a great feat. We won.
Yeah.
Not we, the United States.
United
He
States,
said, we bombed them. Their nuclear making capacities have been minimized. They can't do it. Now that's what they about to do. I thought, so they lied, right? But you had people on the ground reporting back the actual place where they bombed. It was like, it was a bunker and it wasn't that much damage and it didn't penetrate deep enough.
Yeah.
And so just last year, at this time, they told us that they bombed them for that reason. And their military capabilities of enriching uranium has been, they were able to neutralize it.
Right.
Now you're telling me that, oh no, they back up and running? Or were you lying the first
It's
time?
the okie doke, man.
Yes, man.
It's the okie doke. Hey, don't look over there. Look over here.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't worry about what's going on over there.
Now, Renee, you put it in the chat about something about Gavin Newsom. Now, I've been seeing different things about what he said. I guess relating his IQ to others' IQ. And saying, I've seen some people saying that, oh, he was talking to a white audience, not a black audience. What, do you know any details about that? I don't know.
I don't know the
You didn't
audience
see the
he was
video?
talking to.
I saw the video with what he
was
said,
sitting
but I
on
didn't
stage
see
with
no audience though.
No, there was an audience.
I mean, I knew he was talking to an audience, but I didn't see no crowd or anything.
I think it depends on how
On
you
the video I
view it.
saw.
I think like Larry, one of you guys said, and they're like, I didn't see anything wrong with it or anything like that.
Not from his statements.
Yeah. I look at it, I could split hairs on it. He was sitting there talking with another young black man.
I know he's talking to the black guy.
He was having a black guy, and he made the indication like, hey man, I'm no different than you. I'm a 960 SAT guy, you know, suggesting that this black guy is doesn't have a high IQ because it pegs into the stereotype. Like, no, I'll be like, I would have stopped and said, no, motherfucker, you.
Well, see, that's why I couldn't tell. Was he actually talking to him or the crowd?
Oh, I get it. Whether
I thought he was talking to himself. That's what I got.
Like I said, you could look at it because you could look at it that way because a lot of people talk in self-deprecation type of way.
Yeah.
And he could have been in a self-deprecation way because he has a problem with dyslexia. And so,
and he said that too.
So, but when he said, listen, I'm just like you. See, when he said, I'm just like you take the self-deprecation out of it.
Yeah.
And you looking at this black journalist or whomever interviewing you, suggesting that you and his IQ are the same.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So that's where I could take a problem with it, but
I think,
you know,
like somebody said, you had to watch the whole video.
You always got to watch it.
Correct. That's why I didn't want to.
Right.
That's why I'm trying to. I said I can split hairs either way. I can see why Larry said that, and I can see why people was like, I ain't
got no problem with Gavin. I like him because he the only one.
You like the way he trolled Trump?
Yes.
Hey, he do be trolling though.
Yes. I'm waiting. You notice Trump ain't been teasing him lately. He don't
Listen,
want that
man.
no more.
One thing that we have to do as Black Americans, sometimes we got to forgive some of these things because we have this notion that the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Right.
You know.
Wait a minute. What we forgiving?
We have to sometimes side on the enemy of my enemy is my friend. You get what I'm saying? So, you know, it's like when the Antifa stuff was big and the Antifa people was out there beating the crap out of those Trump people. And they were like, well, Antifa's bad. And I was like, yeah, well, they may be your enemy, but they my friend, right? Is what people would say. As if that's what people were saying about Antifa. Well, the Black community. I don't come one way or the other on it because Antifa's not an organization. It's just an ideology.
Yeah.
So I don't support Antifa, but I don't support fascism.
Yeah.
So that means I will be anti-fascism, which is what Antifa stand for, anti-fascism. So
they got
you know, so as Black people, we got to kind of split hairs on stuff, and it makes it look, oh, you Antifa? No, aren't you anti-fascist? Didn't we fight a war on this? You know, and I thought we were aligned. I thought we were aligned.
Yeah.
And so that's why I can't take this country serious no more, man. Yeah. I'm telling you, man, I cannot.
Everybody's opinion matters.
Yeah, the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yeah.
Listen,
everybody hurt, sensitive. And
Trump don't want no Gavin smoke. That's why he been quiet. He ain't said nothing Gavin at all.
Sure.
He been Gavin trolled him for like a year.
He been staying away from California. Yeah. Yeah, he been staying away. He might drop something every now and then.
What you think, Leon? Nothing. How you think? Did you see it?
See what?
Gavin say what he say.
Yeah, I just said I don't want to bring it up. Remember I said I saw what he said, but I didn't know. I couldn't tell if he was talking to the black dude or the crowd or.
Yeah. You gotta watch the whole video.
You gotta watch
the backlash is that Gavin was trying to relate to
black people like Trump did. When he got his mug shot. That's why I think
there's nothing. You saying black, but I seen some people saying it was a lot of white people in the crowd.
It could have been. I don't know. The only thing I looked at was him talking directly to that black man on that stage.
But it wasn't
and tried to relate.
He wasn't trying to relate to the point of like Nancy Pelosi with that African.
Oh my God.
But I think that a lot. I think when he said whether it's a black or white crowd, he was still saying that I'm no different than you, suggesting that the you is not as intelligent. Yeah. It's not as thoughtful. It's not.
I did get that part. I got.
You know what I mean? And so I'm like, don't put me in that category, brother.
Right.
You know, and so
maybe he was talking to the crowd because
whether he was talking to the crowd or America.
Well, yeah, because they use Mega used that low IQ real hard.
Exactly. No, brother. I'm not part of that low IQ. No, don't invite me to that party. And so I would take offense to it because he's like. He's trying to say, well, I'm just like you, he's trying to be relatable. And I'd be like, no, you're not just like me. Because as Kendrick Lamar said, they not like us, right?
Not like us.
And so I think that a lot of people are going to tie it to, when Trump got his mug shot, then he said, well, I can relate to the black because I got a mug shot. So it's kind of like, did he have a Freudian slip?
Yeah.
Right.
Yes. Wow.
Yeah. So we go. I don't know if y'all want to keep going, but look. Did y'all hear about now it's another word, but I've been seeing some people say Tourette also.
Yeah, Tourette's.
Yeah, but I seen another word Charlamagne was talking about. It was calling it something
It's
with
a
a C.
it's a
No. I ain't
it's
even
with
gonna
the
try to pronounce
C's.
it.
I can't pronounce.
What happened?
I cannot pronounce it, but
So-
it's COL or something like that. I forget how to pronounce
So
it.
Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo was given an award, and the guy, I'm gonna say T-Rex. He had T-Rex, whatever. He just blurted out, "Nigga."
No, I ain't see that. When
Yeah.
is
You
that?
didn't see that?
No, I
Yeah.
didn't see
It was getting their award.
What?
And
They
the
was
ironic thing
giving
is
him
this
award.
guy is a Tourette advocate, and he was in
Well, I mean, if he
attendance.
got to rest, yeah, that makes sense.
But why would
But
he
we
blurt that
haven't
out?
seen anything at all before that.
They said he was saying some other stuff.
But when they get on stage and it gets quiet, so they was clapping for him and everything, it gets quiet and he yells that. But also I heard that, I don't know,
Yeah.
whoever, CBS, NBC, whatever, there was a delay. So they could have removed that.
They did
There's always
remove
a
it.
delay. Yeah,
They
yeah.
removed it when that young black guy got his award, and he said "Free Palestine."
Yeah.
They blocked. They bleeped that out, but they didn't bleep out the N word. Remember, N word. You're safe if you say that, especially if you're the right person. But I don't give this dude no pass with the Tourette.
I don't
I
either.
understand. I give the sickness I give some empathy to the sickness, but Tourette is simply uncontrolled responses, uncontrolled utterance of whatever.
And all kinds of stuff.
Tourette does not give you, don't make you multi-language. Like you're not gonna have Tourette and bleep out a derogatory statement, a derogatory word that people say in Korea. Because you're not in it. You don't speak Mandarin. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he blurted out what's already in his lexicon.
Yeah.
So that's when I say you don't get a pass, because he's only saying what he's learned.
Right.
He's only blurting out what he sees.
Yeah.
And so he just couldn't control it.
Right.
So I big up to my man because he said what was on his mind, right?
He did.
Whereas there was other ones in the crowd probably said the same thing. Look at these.
Yeah. I stand with Jamie Foxx.
What did Jeffrey Fox say?
That wasn't no mistake.
Yeah.
No, it was
Yeah.
no
No,
mistake.
it
I'm with
definitely
that.
was
No,
no
it
mistake.
wasn't.
Yeah.
It was deliberate, and like I said, you don't learn, you don't say words in Tourette that you don't already use and don't already know.
Jamie Foxx
So
said
no, he
meant,
don't get
he
no.
meant what he said.
He meant what he said.
It was called the BAFTA Awards. I've never heard of it.
I've never heard of that award
I have.
either.
You have?
No, I've never heard of it.
Black something?
I mean, it was.
No, because why was he there?
Let me see. Let me see
As a
what it
presenter?
is.
No, I think he was in the band. He said it loud too. Oh,
I'll go watch it after this.
what's wrong?
I just.
You looking at Cash Patel? You can't see. Listen, man, he
Hey,
can't
his
be.
name Cash.
I can't see eye to eye with him,
He
man.
might have an album coming out with a name like that.
Oh, wait a minute. British Academy Film,
Yeah,
Television Arts.
Yeah. BAFTA.
Okay, BAFTA. Never heard of it.
never heard of it.
'Cause it ain't from here. It ain't on this side. It's across the pond.
He meant it. Period.
He meant it.
Yeah, you meant it.
He meant it. And they could have bleeped it out like
Yeah,
they did
and
the
they
Free
didn't.
Palestine. They bleeped that out.
So now we know.
They ain't
We
bleep
are
out
raising
Will
them.
Smith
And I
slapping
don't
Chris.
want the chat GPT apology. I don't need all that. I don't need all that.
You said it. You meant it. We receive it.
Mm-hmm.
Now
We're gonna move on.
Now I
Right.
seen somebody said, I ain't gonna tell y'all the name, but he said that we should be used to that and we shouldn't be so
They
offensive.
wasn't
Tell
triggered
your
by
low
it.
IQ
And you
friend.
tell, well,
Tell your low IQ
No,
friend.
it wasn't him. It wasn't him. It wasn't him. It wasn't him. No, it wasn't him.
oh my
It
God.
wasn't him. No, it wasn't him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not
It's
going
one
there
of
with
the
you.
one of the people I listen to.
Tell your other low IQ friend.
Nah, it's not him
It's
either.
Stephen A.
No, it wasn't Stephen A.
It
hey,
probably
Stephen A.
was.
Hey, Stephen A. running for president, y'all. He could be president one day.
Ooh, it's time to wrap this up.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I think that's it. That's it for another episode of Forward Social Conversations. It's been a good one.
Yeah.
Anything left y'all want to talk about? Or let's wrap it up.
I think it's
I'm
Yeah,
good.
it's
Until the
fine.
next one.
All right.
Until we all meet again. Let us
Yeah.
rest, rule, and abide.
Till the
Stay
next
safe out
time,
there.
another episode of the Forward Social Conversations where we talk about everything,
Everything.
some things,
Mm-hmm.
but not all things, because all things don't need to be talked about.
Right.
Mhm.
Peace.